You know, the military is working on a cyborg Beetle to use in its arsenal. Now, we're not talking about, the German car, as I first thought when I heard about this. No, that little thing, that's a bug, an insect. It's part robot, part bug. Researchers have actually managed to implant miniature muscle and neural stimulators to control the creature's flight. So what's the ultimate goal here? Scott Fontaine is a military reporter at the News Tribune. Scott, thanks for being with us. All right, so the scientists take electrodes, and what do they do with them? They implant them where?
It sounds like they plant the electrodes in the brain and in the muscles, and kind of attached to the back of the Beetle is a little radio transmitter, and the scientist is standing off to the side with a remote control. It can tell it to fly left, fly right, fly up, fly down, everything like that.
Yeah, take off, landing, turns. I mean, it's really incredible. Can they control the Beetle so that the Beetle performs in a way that it would not otherwise perform, for example, sustained flight?
It sounds like, I think the Beetle is still limited by by physics, what it can and can't do, but it sounds like that these electrodes it pretty much overtakes the Beetle's free will, if you will, about where it wants to go.
Yeah. So what I'm wondering is, what are the potential military uses? How can we use this to our advantage?
Well, I think it's still a far way off from the battlefield. Right now, this project is being funded through DARPA, which is kind of the Pentagon's research and development wing. They give grants to things that may or may not work, and oftentimes have pretty big technological advances down the road. But even on the website for this particular project, on DARPA's website, they talk about the possibility of implanting maybe a microphone on it or a chemical sensor.
Right.
They really see this kind of as the next step in evolution between human and animal cooperation, really. I mean, they reference the horse and buggy and maybe
right.
A bird in a coal mine.
Yeah, I mean, you could implant a microphone on a Beetle, fly it into a suspected terrorist's hut or an enemy's location, and simply listen in on the conversations and the planned attacks. It's amazing, and they'd never know.
Absolutely.
All right. Let me ask you about human applications. I mean, someday might they use this on human beings?
Well, I don't think they're quite ready to say that yet. I think insect brains are a tad simpler than humans, or at least I hope so. And
but judging by some guests we've had.
Well, that's true.
Go ahead.
But I think we're still a ways off before maybe applying certain things to more advanced creatures, including mammals.
Yeah, I mean, it's really pretty incredible. I've also been reading they might be able to use these as couriers to get information to inaccessible locations. That sounds plausible, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, just meaning the advances in in flash drives we have now make gigabytes of storage, the size of a coin, and maybe you can tape it to the bottom of one of these bugs and fly it somewhere where no one will know it's coming.
Yeah, and so is the Defense Department funding this? How does this work?
Yeah, the Defense Department has, like I said, the Research and Development Wing is called DARPA, and they give grants usually for projects that last just a few years. But the idea is to just kind of sometimes throw everything against the wall, see what sticks, and hope that it has some advantages that they can use down the road.
Wow! Just think, the future may be insects, and what we can do on the battlefield with them. Scott Fontaine, a News Tribune military reporter. Thanks so much for being with us.
Hey, anytime.
We've always wanted to be the fly on the wall.
Oh,
I mean,
there you
literally,
go.
Right? I just wonder what animal rights groups think.
PETA, don't start sending us emails. We were just talking, that's all.